Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We just got to move along.
Okay, members, any other questions? Okay, seeing none, let's go back to 905. And you can tell us your name so we don't refer to you just as a number if you don't mind.
Thank you. My name is Loren Anderson, and I'm in opposition to SB1. If you pass SB1, you're not simply creating economic equity for same-sex couples. You are encouraging and endorsing same-sex relationships for the generations that are coming. Please listen to me. Have you witnessed the gender confusion and same-sex experimentation that is currently taking place in our youth? Does it trouble you? It should. Same-sex intercourse is easily identified as at-risk behavior. I donate blood to the Hawaii Blood Bank regularly. If you have done this, you are familiar with the questions that are asked before you donate to determine that your blood can be safely added to the bank. A significant number of these questions are regarding homosexual behavior. Why is this? It is because there is transfer of blood and HIV risk associated with homosexual intercourse. Can't you see the real dangers and wicked leadership to Hawaii's youth that this step in social engineering is producing? The vast majority of our children that try same-sex encounters are casually experimenting. The confusion and health risks are real, and your passage of SB1 would lead generations to come into harm's way. This evil is real. HIV decimates the homosexual community. According to the Center for Disease Control, gay, bisexual, and other men who have sex with men, MSM, account for 78% of new HIV in 2010 and was greatest among the youngest age group. By the way, they have stopped publishing or keeping this public health data because of anti-discrimination issues since 2010. HIV is considered an epidemic by the Center for Disease Control, and your endorsing the homosexual lifestyle in passing SB1 would lead the people of Hawaii into at-risk behavior, even while the statistical realities of the danger are being suppressed by anti-discrimination pressure from the gay agenda. I'm out of time. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
I appreciate it.
Next. Evening, please.
Good evening, chairs and representatives. Thank you so much for giving us 2 minutes and asking questions, vetting the process. My name is, number 910. My name is BettyJean Anderson. I'm a married voter, mother of 3. I was a home educator. I teach the Bible, and I've been a Hawaii resident for 33 years. Please oppose SB1. This bill is in conflict with the freedom of religion and the right to free speech. People of faith are already experiencing discrimination and being called bigots and homophobes and accused of hate crimes if they express what they've been taught in Scripture. An interesting fact that I think is pertinent: psychologist Dr. W. Peter Blicchington on sex roles explains the gender differences relating to marriage. The male and female embryo are identical till the 7th week of pregnancy. The hormones, androgens and testosterone for the male, and progesterone and estrogen for the female, wash through the brain and spinal cord of the embryo, determining the male and female genders and characteristics, which together procreates the human family and the human race through the institution of marriage. This is a special and unique combination that creates the family. Forcing the church to accept homosexuality is government setting up the rights of humanistic homosexuals above the rights of religious citizens. How can one argue with the law, even when that law might be illegitimate, at least in the eyes of God, who himself claims to be the supreme being and the supreme law above all laws? Even Governor Abercrombie told Representative McDermott that he expects polygamy suits within a year. Please oppose Senate Bill 1. This bill is truly not about equal rights for homosexuals to marry, since their rights and benefits seem to already be protected by, domestic partnership, civil unions, etc. So, I'm running out of time. Please oppose Senate Bill 1.
Thanks so much. Next, please. Okay, seeing none, members, any questions for this last group that testified? Representative Lee.
Thank you. Is BettyJean Anderson still here? Thank you. I realize it's getting late. But I want to follow up on some of the comments you talked about family and everything else. You know, I'm pretty sure we can all agree that gay people are generally born by straight people, generally speaking. But so if down the road, whether in high school or college, or even after that, you had a child that turned out to be gay, and they were happy with who they were, would you not want them to be able to marry the person that they love?
I think that I would take the same position that the Lord takes towards us. He loves us, but he still requires us to obey his commandments. Don't kill, don't steal, don't commit adultery, respect your parents. And I would require the same thing of my children. I love you, but I believe God has commandments that we have to obey for our lives to work out the best in life. And since God doesn't recognize it as a legal form of marriage because it's not what he created and designed, I would have to take that same position. And it's not that you don't love people, you believe there is a right and wrong in this life.
Thank you. Just to follow up, so what I'm hearing is that you don't want the law to allow them to make that choice for themselves.
I'm wondering if leaders have the authority to make that. You know, I believe that there is a supreme authority, and I believe we can say, all right, well, let's all decide as legislators, pedophilia. But in the eyes of God, that's still not right. We can make a law that says...
So let me just cut you off there just for a minute, but regardless of the process whether we pass a bill like this tonight, whether it's voted on by the people, however it happens, if the law at the end of the day is restrictive of same-sex marriage and limiting marriage only to male-female, the law then prohibits them from getting married. And you'd be okay with that?
If the law prohibits them from getting married?
That's right. Or marrying the person that they love in a same-sex relationship. Removing that choice from them and not giving them
I'm
that
not
ability.
interested in prohibiting people from doing anything. But I do get concerned if we start to pass laws that impact other people and it doesn't benefit society. And I guess the question is, who has the right to determine what is marriage? Is marriage really something particular? And, you know, we can decide whatever we want, but is there a truth?
So just to wrap up, I mean, what I'm hearing is you're saying you want people to be able to make that choice, or you don't want to force something on anybody. But if this law were to remain the same, you'd be depriving that child of making that choice for themselves as to who they want to marry.
And the question is it a legitimate choice? That's
Okay.
a question.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Members, any other questions? Representative